Hello everyone, welcome to Study Holic, and today we are going to start Psychology, Chapter 1, Story of Psychology. We are going to discuss various points like introduction, the history of psychology. In it we will start talking about study of consciousness, study of unconsciousness, study of behavior, and next will be what is behavior, study of cognition, psychology as an Indian perspective, and goals of psychology. So let's start with introduction. In introduction, the first thing is what is psychology. Psychology ये शब्द सुनने के बाद साइकोलॉजी या मनोविज्ञान आपके दिमाग में सबसे पहले क्या आता है, क्या हो सकता है ये बेसिकली, राइट? व्हाट दिस वर्ड कुड मीन. सोचिए, एक दो मिनट लीजिए एंड सोचिए. Well, psychology is also involved in the process of thinking. What are you doing right now? You are thinking, your mind is thinking something. And that thinking process is also a part of cognitive psychology, which we are going to learn in coming classes. So, the process of thinking is included in psychology. For example, there are certain situations in which people react in a different way. For example, spontaneous blood donation by youth for passengers injured in bus accidents. For example, एक घर है, आप जा रहे हैं, वहाँ आग लगी है, and there is a pipe right in front of you. You on the tap and you run with it. So under a certain situation, how your brain acts, that is also a part of psychology. You take that pipe, go there and sprinkle the water on the building and help your neighbors out. So that's a part of it. And another is corruption. You bribe somebody to do your work. That is also why the human brain thinks like that in a certain situation. So that is also a part of psychology. The next will be India ki match. If India has won the match, then there are crackers, you see it everywhere. Everyone is celebrating, everyone is feeling happy. So that is also a part of how your brain reacts to a certain thing. So that was all about introduction. Now we will start about the history of psychology. So as of now, we know that psychology is a vast field that studies behavioral aspects of mankind. So the symbol that you see here right now, this one, it is the symbol of psychology, which is known as PSI, in Greek language, that is 23rd Greek alphabet, and it means soul or mind. This psychology is made up of two things, that is psyche and logos. Psyche means mind or soul, and logos means science. It is same like biology, geology, neurology. Neuro means brain. Brain is made up of neurons, so neuro, and logos is science. So in the same way, psyche plus logos is psychology, study of mind or soul. The next topic we are going to see is how various different people have different opinion on a certain thing. So this is Mr. Pluto. He believed that knowledge is innate, and innate means knowledge is something with which you are born by birth, genetics. Some people are smart by birth. That is what Pluto believed. But whereas Mr. John Locke disagreed with him completely. He said that the child is born with an empty slate. What you write in it depends, and on that thing, it depends on that knowledge or experience what a person has from his or her childhood, that how he or she will become in future. That is what Mr. John Locke said. Then there were many other scientists, physicians who had different aspects on what was psychology. So in 19th century, German physician and philosopher Wilhelm Wundt established the first laboratory of psychology in Leipzig University in 1879, and he believed that conscious experience is what matters more and plays a crucial part in defining our behaviors and reactions in certain situations. And because of Mr. William Wundt, psychology emerged as a science. Because what is science? Science is based on facts and evidences which you can prove to people. And how you prove it? With experiments and results, you will prove it to people. So that was the first time when psychology emerged as a science, thanks to this man. He defined psychology as the study of consciousness. He used scientific methods and introduced introspection method. What is introspection method? We are going to see this in coming chapters. Next person we have here is Dr. Sigmund Freud. He said that psychology is study of unconscious mind. When is our mind unconscious? At the time when we are sleeping or when we are meditating, that's the main time when our mind is unconscious and we don't have any control over it. So Mr. Sigmund Freud believed in that. He gave importance to early childhood experiences. He was founder of psychoanalytics. Again, this is something we are going to see further. And he was an Australian physician. Now, what do you mean by importance of early childhood experience? Early childhood experience, like for example, if there is a child in a family who has seen many problems between his or her parents, like fights after marriages and family problems, monetary problems, that child, when he or she will grow up, will have problem in being connected to others, or relationship issues, trust issues, financial issues, because that was how he or she grew up. That was what he or she saw in their early childhood life, and will see life with that perspective itself. So that is the importance of early childhood experiences. Then there is a next person who gives us the definition of what we study today, and what he did is he mixed study of consciousness and study of unconsciousness and made the definition: the study of human behavior and mental processes is called as psychology. And the person who did this mixture is Mr. John Watson. This guy, he is an American psychologist, and he defined what is behavior and gave SOR model, that is stimulus or organism and response model. So behavior is an organism's response to various stimuli present in our surroundings. But each individual might have different response to the same stimulus because of their interest, personality, and attitudes. In behavior, there are two types, that is overt or covert. Overt behavior includes direct observable response like walking, talking, and dancing. And covert behaviors include response which are not directly observable but can be inferred from behavior like thinking, feeling, emotion, intelligence, things like that. So that is what Mr. John Watson did. For example, to explain the SOR model more, there was an experiment conducted. So here you can see this is the food, and when dog see food he feel like hungry. आप किसी होटल में जाते हो, पनीर चिली, शाही कबाब, बटर नान, मुंह से पानी आता तो होगा ही, right? So even if you're not hungry, that smell and that feelings makes you hungry, and saliva rules in your mouth. And when he was listening to whistle, there was no salivation. He gave no response, like I don't care, you use the whistle or do anything. But for the period of few days, for example 21 days, it took 21 days to form any habit. So first there used to be a whistle, and then the food was given, and the dog knew that he was going to get the food. Like the same thing happens in our school. We have recess bells, and when the bell rings, you know that this is the lunch break and you are going to have your food. So after a few days, when there was whistle, the dog salivated even without getting the food, because he knew that whistle food, then we have to eat. For eating, we need to have saliva. So that is how our behavior works. Another example for making a better understanding, when teacher asks question in the class. Okay, here teacher is the stimulus. Many kids raise hand for take, this is Sham, this is Ram, Sita, Geeta, Babita. Take anyone you want. There are different types of students. Some students be like, ma'am, मेरे को आता है, मेरे को आता है, I am the most intelligent बच्चा in the class. And some be like, मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं आता, but not to feel low because they don't know, they are trying to act intelligent. And next are, ma'am, yesterday I was absent, I don't know what you were teaching, so like नीचे देख रहे कि हाँ मेरे को ना उठा ले. So that is another example of SOR model. Next is study of cognition. What is cognition? It is basically after 1950s and on the verge of 1960s, people were not satisfied with just the behavior thing in mind process and all. They wanted to know more. They had more excitement and about how psychology can further get. So study of cognition is more about higher processes like thinking, memory, and learning, how these things are done, in what way our brain functions, and how we can use our knowledge to make a better living. So that is more about study of cognition. We have a whole chapter on cognition coming ahead. So psychology as an Indian perspective. Mm, do you think that only in 17th and 18th century we came in contact with the term of psychology? No, I don't believe. Even before all this, we had many Indian texts like Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, or Mahabharata, where the mentions of psychology, that is how human brain and mind works, were laid down. Yes, congratulations. In India, we had that kind of people who knew many things, but it wasn't spread enough, or such terminologies were not given, which were later given in 18th and 19th century. So in Upanishads, a concept is explained. Explain the self and personality structure with the help of concept called koshas. Koshas means something like cover, and there are many types of koshas like anamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanmaya kosha, and anandamaya kosha. So from the perspective of exam, you are supposed to know that Upanishad gave the concept of koshas and what are the types of koshas. And there was another thing as Ayurveda. Ayurveda gave the concept of doshas. There are three doshas: kapha, pitta, and vata. So according to Ayurveda, Kapha, Vata, and Pitta are the doshas that determine prakriti or characteristics of human beings. For example, individuals who have Kapha as a dominant dosha are calm, flexible, patient, and caring people. They have strong memory. It is said that they take longer to grasp a subject, but once they understand it, they are able to retain it for a longer time. Other individuals who have Vata as dominant dosha are unpredictable. कब क्या कर दे कुछ पता नहीं है बाबा. Their moods and thoughts are fluctuated. They get angry very quickly, but are also calmed down very fast. They are art lovers. Individuals who have Pitta as a dominant dosha are very sharp, but also they are very short tempered. कब छोटी सी चीज़ पे गुस्सा आ जाए उनको कुछ कह नहीं सकते. So this was all about doshas. Apart from dosha, there is also concept of gunas: tamas gun, sattva gun, and rajas gun. So tamas is something that is tamas people have ideal I'm not ideal wala, like, or idle and ideal may there is a difference. Ideal people, they have nothing to do. They are the laziest asses you can ever find. They are always depressed. And on other hand, we have Rajas people. Rajas people are not actually royal, but they think that everyone is their servant and something like that. Very high self-esteem. And this is my favorite. This is Sattva. Sattva are the people who are calm and understanding, take real things as it is. So that is what we had in our Indian perspective. Next is Mr. Patanjali. Patanjali, not of Ramdev Baba, but Patanjali as in he was a sage at some time in Indian history. So he gave the concept of Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, किधर गया, हाँ, Ashtanga Yoga has 8 aspects like Yama means discipline. Niyama means rules or internal discipline. Asana, that is posture. Pranayama, breath control. Pratyahara, withdrawal of sense. Dhyana, concentration or meditation. Dhyana, meditative observation. And Samadhi, union or integration. These are the 8 aspects of Ashtanga Yoga. You need to remember it. Next, on the end, goals of psychology. There are 4 goals of psychology: what, buy, anticipate, and change or modify. Anything we have knowledge of, why do we do it? For making our lives better. So, why psychology is supposed to be studied? First, describe what is happening. The primary goal of psychology is to identify and classify behaviors and mental processes. Because what is happening, why certain people are behaving in a certain way, that is something that psychologist can work upon. And second will be explanation why something is happening, why certain kind of person is behaving in a certain way under certain type of situations. Next is prediction, what will happen next. Okay, you know this is happening and why it is happening, but can you predict what will happen next? Come on, man, we are having music in background. तुम्हें ऐसी जगह दे. Okay, it is end. The third point is prediction. It is end. No, it has ended. The music has stopped. Prediction, what will happen next, कि आगे क्या होगा. Example, if someone drinks alcohol, it will slow down his reaction and that will increase possibility of an accident. So driving after consuming alcohol should be strictly avoided and controlled. How can it be changed? Shit, man. Leave it. Control. How can it be changed? So after knowing this is happening, this is going to happen next, how we can change the predictions, how we can, for example, there is someone who is drinking alcohol, riding a two-wheeler and his senses are withdrawn, there are prone to accidents. So how we can reduce accidents? We can ask people to wear an helmet. Okay, so that is how we apply psychology in real life. And that's it. Thank you. It takes really that type of effort to make these videos. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I'm still new at knowing these features, so forgive me if there is any kind of ucha nicha thing in it. That's it. Thank you. Bye bye.